what I do.
Looks like we got a new skating rink.
What I do.
Got another early morning this week. Gotta go meet with my financial advisor again. We're doing a whole lot of like moving of paperwork and money around to try and, I don't know.
What I do. What I do.
Once the snow starts to melt, that ride becomes significantly less fun and more wet.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. What are the odds that Frank would be up here to get me with one of the better suckets of all time?
They're pretty good.
Brutal. So on my schedule for today is simply just finishing up Brent's bike, getting it treated, getting it all together, getting it ready for a winter of sitting around and kind of doing nothing. But the work still kind of needs to be done. I want to get it done today, so that's what we're going to do for a good portion of this. Okay, before I jump into this maybe too deep, let me give you a full rundown on what I'm actually doing. So yes, I did talk about this a little bit yesterday. I had let you know what I was up to. The bike needs to be cleaned, but really the biggest focus here is treating the inside of the frame to prevent rust and corrosion from taking over the life of this bike. We want to keep it going forever, not just a few years of decent riding in our environment. So the problem that you run into with a steel bike, especially ones that aren't painted or treated on the inside, is the fact that it rusts from the inside out. We need a way to prevent that, and the way that I do it is by using Rust Check. Is just the name of the product, but it is a protectant of steel. It's what I spray on the inside of bikes to make sure that they're completely coated and totally safe against all that our environment has to offer. I'm sure there's other brands, I don't know. I'll put a link to this in the description below along with the other stuff that I use on this bike, just so you can kind of see what I used and maybe pick some up yourself. But yeah, this is what I use. Once I get the inside of the bike completely treated and I'm like satisfied, I'll finish everything off by cleaning off all the excess Rust Check away from everything, clean the bike again, and then to finish the bike off, protect the outside of the frame, make sure that it's easy to clean and that stuff doesn't cling to it. I like to use, in my opinion, all of these things that I'm taking off are very, very simple tasks to do. And you should be able to do them at home so that you can treat a bike the same way that I am right now. The biggest thing you're going to need is this bottom bracket tool. Park Tools makes one. A lot of other brands do as well. I'll link that below. And you could easily do what I'm doing here today at home. And they're kind of just good skills to have, because this is the best way to clean a bike completely and make sure that everything on the inside is protected. See that little bit of rust that's on the grease of this seat post? That's kind of what I'm talking about here. That's why we have to do what we're doing. And as you can see, like, cleaning in all these areas that are really annoying to get to when the crankset is in, when everything is on, are a lot more accessible now. And even with all my efforts, I mean, there's a ton here that I just couldn't reach. And that's kind of just the nature of trying to clean a bike really, really well with the cranks on. bracket can't go in with that all the way in. So I must have put your crank in and then was like, sweet, let's do this bike check, and I didn't tighten that. Because I was going to try and blame it on someone else. And I was like, wait a second. The last person to touch this bike is me. Alright, have fun.
See you later.
See ya.
I knew exactly
Oh.
what you meant.
Gotcha. I was, for some reason, thinking of going this way as well.
Well, that'd be backwards.
Oh, I do that all the time.
What are you? When did you get to be such a badass? So where we're at right now, we're on the home stretch. We're almost done here. I just threw the seat post into the bike so that I could actually clamp the seat post instead of the frame so that I could actually work on the frame, polish it up. One cool thing worth noting, I use this like carbon grease from Motorex on every seat post. The cool thing about it is the fact that instead of using like grit, sand, or glass to hold things in place without too much torque, as far as I've been told, it uses chemistry. So as it gets torqued down and pressure builds up on it, it expands. So you don't have to torque the bolt as much, because I find 7 Newton meters to be kind of a lot on a seat post collar like that. I use that stuff and it keeps it from slipping and it keeps it from having to be like over tightened. Because I'm already seeing that the head of this seat post collar bolt is like starting to get stripped a little bit, and I would prefer avoid that at all costs. Boom, done. The inside of this bike is now protected, safe, and ready to ride. And the outside, well, the outside, that's just more of a bonus. The polish makes life a little easier for cleaning for a while. It doesn't last forever. Really, the biggest thing is the bike just looks so much better and so much cleaner. I got rid of a lot of the grit and stuff. Now, I can understand if you're wondering why I maybe didn't clean the wheels. I didn't want to. Alright, I'm not going to spend another like 5 minutes whoring this bike out. It already has a video dedicated to it. Besides, it's getting kind of late and I want to get out of here. But first, I want to address something that a few of you have sent me messages on and commented on Instagram about. And that's the new rules that YouTube kind of put on creators' channels. There were some messages of concern, wondering if it was going to affect me, if it was going to be a problem, if it was something that that could ruin what it is I'm trying to do, and in one way or another making some money via their AdSense program. I will tell you, I am past the threshold that they are putting in place, so I'm totally safe from the adpocalypse or anything like that. But it does kind of bring up this thought that I've been having for a long time, where I'd like to also create some other revenue streams for me so that I can create more on this platform. I don't know really how to introduce it other than just be absolutely totally blunt about it. And the first thing that I've sort of implemented to try and make a little bit more off of what I'm doing is by adding more affiliate links in the description of videos. If you click on one of the links of the products in my description and you buy that product, I do get a small commission of that sale. And then the second thing I thought of is I designed, you know, a mug that I think kind of like resonates with us really well. See, this says ride reasonably priced bikes, and on the other side the Spindatt logo. I kind of like the idea of having something that we can all use, like a coffee mug, just to go against that annoying cycling meme that says life's too short to ride shit bikes. Well, my wallet doesn't allow me to ride not shit bikes, no matter how short life is right now. So something more realistic to say is, why don't you just ride a reasonably priced bike? So if you're into that idea, maybe I'll do a run of those on TeeSpring. I'll put a link together, we'll figure it all out. If you want to support the channel, you can buy one of those, or you can buy something through the Amazon links, or just watch my videos, you know? Anyway, I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to kind of like ask that question. If you're not into it at all, I won't do it. But, you know, I think it's just kind of one of those steps I need to take to go in the direction that I want to go with doing something like this full time. And I just want to finish this video by saying thank you so much for all of you who have been subscribing, who've been here forever, who comment all the time, and those of you who sent me just messages out of the blue to make sure that everything was going fine when all this YouTube news on just a side of YouTube that we don't really take any part of at all went down. I'm all good. I have ideas for how I can generate more revenue so that I can make more better content, and I hope you guys are cool with that. Anyway, so I'll see you tomorrow.